just hit start and let's just do the other parts now. So open this phone, switch over to OBS Broadcam, and we should be getting going in like a minute. Come on. Okay. So, voila. It's the filters of this. Yep, we have the Radeon filter applied. Right, okay. Well then, just the game missing. Where's my Steam? Steam. Okay, there it is. PlanetSide 2, how many of day is it now that you want to update? In a row. I've very much lost count at this rate. You wanted to update last, I don't know, 15 days in a row or something. God fucking damn it. Just calm down for a minute. Calm down. Okay. Well then. Just manually switch to ACC. And then grab here the password again, just making sure everything's set. It's a bit odd, they say a different password in there. Oh wait, I forgot to install delivery. Fuck. I knew I had forgotten something, but I forgot delivery. Well, that isn't too much of a problem. We can just use my usual boat livery. How is it gonna run with the boat? It's a purple boat, I'm sorry. I forgot delivery. So it's gonna be a purple boat for now. Oh god, what's the server name? It's kind of its own issue. Okay, it's Pro League. That should be enough. We just don't have the here. It's the SGP server. Paste. Connect. I'm just gonna connect with my purple boat. It's fine. It's not, but like it should be fine. Let's face it. I forgot the load delivery. It just sucks. I need to remember that for race, but I didn't have the time right now. Okay. Load setup. Load this one. We need to adjust a few things because these brake ducts are not set up for 31 degrees. Do I need them massively large? I'm not sure I need them that large. I probably do need them tire pressure slower. So let's just move those down. So the other things in this setup should still work. It's just that this setup was made for very cold conditions. Oh yeah, right. I think I have not much fuel in this car. 60 liters right now. That's not a whole lot. I think that's the default amount. And I have in cars, so should be fine enough to just drive a few laps. Jesus Christ, how much the car kicks like a mule out of these corners. Forgot how much there's issues with oversteer with this set on throttle. I cannot exit a corner, it just immediately goes yunk on the rear axle. I think there's something wrong with the differential, but like, Who the fuck can set up the differential in this game? Like, only someone who wants to devote 15 hours or so into just trial and erroring the numbers. I'm pretty sure this car handled better the last time I drove it. I'm very sure of it. Because this handles awful. That is straight up awful. I haven't seen something this bad in a long time. This thing handles like absolute dog shit right now. Jesus. Just look at it, it's just, it drives around immediately as soon as I put any amount of throttle in there. The rear axle just goes 45 degrees sideways. As soon as you input anything. We're way too early there, I see. The thing is, you can choose between having stupid amounts of oversteer or just TC around. That section should be flat out. Like, you should be able to go flat up there. The only thing that's good is like I've nailed the tire pressures apparently on first try. That appears to be working. Like, I tried the tire pressures without any further attempts, that works. But the tires will all look fine, it's just... The rear axle of this car just has everything of everything, but just working, apparently, correctly. It is so nervous. It just cannot be driven whatsoever. It was a 2:01. Jesus Christ, that is slow. Yeah, way too early on the brakes there. Okay, at least I got through this section this time around. I think I just lowered the rear ride height. The car seems to be also nervous in high-speed stuff as well, so it's not like we're only dealing with issues and low speed, we're dealing with issues everywhere. I don't know what I was thinking back then, but this doesn't be quite right. Oh, come on, I just wanted one valid lamp for fuck you. So that was apparently a 58 last time around. Not great, but not terrible either. Okay, I'm the fucking done with this. This is bullshit. Like, you step any amount of... No, I want to return to the fucking pits. What the fuck are you doing here? 56 is alright now the fastest time, so I'm gonna put 2 seconds off the pace, which is really bad, but considering this car's right now dying completely because the rear does not want to stay fucking put at all. It was like... Man, there's 70 Newton meters of predominant. Ramp this massively up because I'm pretty sure the differential is doing bullshit right now on me. Pulling some absolute bullshit right now. It's just 200 Newton meters of preload on this. Probably not helping me. I have no fucking clue because... also, we're gonna put some TC into the car. Fuck driving with this. Also, yeah, we noticed that the tire pressures were getting slightly higher. I'm gonna take 0.2 out of them. Actually, I think 0.1 maybe out of the fronts. Stuff other things that need to be altered. So how many? I found them with the tire sets. Okay, good. No worries on that front. Good. The problem is loading up first, so it's not the... There's 4 clicks of ALB in the rear, 3 in the front. Oh yeah, we wanted to lower slightly the rear right out, but... I think I would put the spring rate back in there. Or we're gonna keep the slightly lowered right out. Okay, that does change quite a bit the aero characteristic of the car. Oh well. Come on. Let's hope this does some wonders to get this thing back onto track. Because man, that was on a list of like undrivable pretty hard. Okay, it still does it. It still wants to snap on the throttle application. It's such a weird behavior on the I'm very sure this differential is doing absolute bullshit on the circuit for some reason. It's not working properly. Because the behavior is just so weird. Where you just go... Suddenly the rear axle feels like it's locking up. Okay. Whoa, whoa, fuck off. Jesus. What is this? I thought this set had only like a few issues out of the slow speed corners. Apparently when you actually give it like, I don't know, the road some temperature so the tires aren't like dead cold, the car will suddenly no longer stick at all on the road. Which is a lot of fun. Not. Okay, there's... Like, even for the chicane, there's way too loose the car. There's way too much oversteer there. I don't know where it's coming from, because it's just... It wasn't there on the set before. Oh fuck, I slowed down way too early again. Although it is driving better for these sections now. But it could just be me finally figuring out how to apply the throttle correctly, so it's not doing bullshit. It is a bit nosy on the turning, I have to admit. Or it could be I'm just used to the TCR car I'm gonna drive tomorrow. And I'm just like, yo, this thing turns in. I'm just like, yes. Although the TCR car is way too much turning. Like, that thing oversteers on the brakes. You're just like... That thing always has turning. Okay, there's way too much understeer now on the high speed. That's the problem, is like... You give the car stability in the high speed and then you get understeer and then you get oversteer suddenly. From the understeer. Because you're trying to drive around the understeer. And it just leads to more oversteer.
Yellow flag, be careful there.
And I only have like 2 more laps of practice. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Calm down, car. Make the chicane like a normal vehicle, please. What is this bullshit? I suddenly have rapid onset oversteer in the middle of a chicane. What the hell is this bullshit? Also, what is this shit that I actually stop for T1?
Yellow flag, charging front.
Brake press is too far backwards. Thing is oversteering on the brakes. Way too early on the brakes there. I'm so surprised my brakes work this well. I have so much stopping power. But the problem is getting out of the corners again. My car does not want to let me get back out of corners, so I just get kicks of oversteer. Just look at how much time I bled there in the front corner, apparently. Chicane there. So where does it put me? Oh, 2.8 seconds still off the pace. I thought they went 58. Where the fuck did these guys go suddenly over the last 5 minutes or so? Suddenly everybody was like, yeah, let's just improve by like 5 seconds. God, I love that. When shit like that happens. People just suddenly go, hey, let's just improve our lap time for like 4 seconds or so. You're not the unprepared like me. But you stop improving by as much.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Because I thought like, oh yeah, this is gonna go perhaps well, and then it's just like, ha, no. Fuck you, you're slow. Like, goddamn fucking slow. And I'm starting to trade tense with myself. I mean, it's not fully a qualifying run, but like... Come on. Close enough. I'm bleeding time now. Even. It's like I shouldn't be bleeding time, I should be still gaining like seconds. And I'm trading tenths of a second with myself. This is just... Can I, for fuck's sake, get out of the fucking track for once? At least the fastest guy is like nearly a second up on P4, so it's not like losing too much in that area, but damn, these... Drop the rear differential down all the way, and let's hope that does something to help my issues. It's just so fucking weird how the car handles like this. Okay, we need less fuel for qualifying. The pressures looked alright at least. That's at least something, I guess. Can't change too much about the aero because brake bias needs to be moved forward because we have too much actual rotation on towards the rear. I thought a bit too much rotation was there.
Green light, go, go, go.
So, we're about with 16 liters or so in the tank. And let's hope for the God this thing is working. Let's hope for dear God this thing just about works well enough that we can pull through the qualifying decently. Maybe the rear rotation actually came from my change to the preload. Who knows? Because now it feels like the car's understeering again. Slam the brake bias back forwards. Let's say that was a four-wheel slide, so I guess it's sort of a bit far forward perhaps for qualifying. Still lifted there, so it's I know that in cold conditions you can take the section up the hill flat in this car. At least if this set was possible, but well, perhaps not anymore. Who had to murder all those poor coins? They did nothing to you. Oh, they did nothing to you. That was not good at all. Terrible run up the hill. And broke way too early here.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
There's no speed advantage from driving Mr. Grass there. More like a disadvantage. Right, that's the time stop. 56.4. Not that great, I have to say. Considering we saw 54s in practice just now, I think that's where our qualifying times are gonna go. I mean, it is an improvement on our practice time, but not by much. I'd hope for more. Significantly more, considering we're on low fuel and everything now. We're not seeing improvements either, so that's also annoying. Can't wring any more time out of this thing. Yeah, and I have to lift up the hill, which is also not good. Although there's a bit of time that I gained just now. But then overshot this corner. And messed this up. So now all the time is going again.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Oh, just trying to squeeze the power on and he just goes snap oversteer.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
It's so annoying.
Yellow flag, be careful.
Oh no! Oh, this was such a good lap and then I bottled it. Up the hill here. Let's try again. Uh, 1.7 seconds right now of provisional pole. I want to get that down to about a second. I think that's where I feel comfortable. I mean, that's definitely, I think, possible. I mean, we've shown that like half of the second is in there.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
On the other hand, I don't think everybody has shown their full sheet so far. I think a lot of people are sandbagging heavily. And that's saying something from the king of sandbagging. But I call you out for sandbagging. I smell some sandbags here. I broke still too early for this corner. God, I'm gonna hate that corner. Oh, way too deep. this lap is bottled already. Because there's about 3/10 I think in the first 3 corners to gain. I just didn't find it this time around. Too fast into there. Good exit here. I think I'm gonna go backwards on the adjustment on the rear right height to get back my downforce, to get my aero balance back to where it was before, because I know that corner is flat and it's so close, but it's not quite there. Let me pull over. Tire pressures on the rear were quite low. I think I'm gonna put some more in there. That's, I think, all in terms of those adjustments. The car's still acting in some ways funny with me, and I just don't quite know why that's up like that. There's another boat driver about 1.6 seconds up the road, which that's a bit insulting to me. That's probably a very talented individual. Backwards on this. I don't think I need to, because I increased the rear bumper range. I think that's fine. I think that setting is fine. It's just I do not understand why it, as soon as you squeeze a bit around the throttle in, the thing just goes clink. It just does not want to have any amount of like oversteer out of there. So it's just, you just get this massive jump of oversteer, and it's just, I cannot for the life of me figure out why. And I changed my rear right head back, but I didn't really like do anything really to address my oversteer issues. I even decreased back down my TC, because last time I had the better experience with like low TC actually, with managing these oversteer slides. I just cannot quite add up why it's happening. probably be putting more throttle in there.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
I had to squeeze back out of it because it just didn't quite come down. Yeah, it is so close to flat, but it is possible. You just have to brave it. Oh, and then now just all the understeer suddenly came into the car. I just went like, no, it just understeered. Oh, great. Oh, God! Please take the chicane normal. For the love of me, just go normal. For once. All the time gains again gone because fuck me. There's too much oversteer actually from the brakes. Especially in the high speed, I have a bit too much turning. I didn't think I could bottle that corner even more, but I just did. For fuck's sakes. And then I just lifted up the hill. Luckily it's not too much time loss. Oh, I forgot. If you run over that thing, it slows you down like crazy. Or it doesn't slow you down. What are you doing, mate? I'm barely making inroads. Oh, all the understeer suddenly came in and it didn't make the corner. For fucking sakes, I hate you, car. It's so nervous at times. Come on, just find some grip. What are you doing here? Grip into the asphalt. horrible.
Losing time in sector.
This is like fucking giving birth, this qualifying session. Pulling teeth. To get like every single tinf out of this thing. Because when you gain one, you lose another place so easily, because it just doesn't want to quite work. So it's not quite there. That was way nicer. Oh, come on. That was so bullshit up the hill there. Hello, what the fuck are you doing out of the corners? You cost me everything there. Why the fuck did you oversteer there? Why? I fed you the throttle like... As gently as a baby, but like... Oh, come on, why are you such a fucking bitch to drive? There's so much more time in there, but it just doesn't want to come together. Oh, why is this thing handling like such a fucking bitch, honestly? Do I want to put more camber in the car, perhaps? Because there isn't that much camber, honestly, on the set. I dropped, I think, a bit of camber at some point out of the setup. Which we'll can add back in, I guess. Not that it's probably gonna help anything. What else do I have left on my fucking arsenal of things that I can do to this car to get it to finally do what it's supposed to do? Gonna take perhaps a click or two out of the front bump stop range. I know, that's gonna hurt me a lot, probably. Man, the point of like, yeah, what's remaining at this point? Car's massive oversteer at some point. It acts like a fucking bitch out of other corner, so I'm just like... Ah, I'm so sorry. Oh fuck, and then there's another cup. Where the fuck did you all come from? It's just everyone and their mum comes suddenly down fucking T1. Couldn't fucking predict it. Ah, I'm so sorry.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front.
Completely bottled that.
Yellow flag in sector 3. There's a slow car up ahead.
God, the understeer. Whoa!
Got some light damage.
Oh, come on. I didn't need no damage on my front end. Like, why did you just die there suddenly? We have suddenly massive understeer up the hill. What the fuck just happened there? Go backwards on this decision. cannot afford to understeer that much up the hill suddenly. I do not understand why you did that. But it just did suddenly produce massive understeer up the hill. Just to add insult to injury right now. So where's everybody coming? There's one car. Get by. Thank you very much. We just have 5 minutes remaining at this point. Which means 2 flyers. I need about like 0.3 of a second instead of some will grab to gain a bunch of positions and all that. The car wasn't like so constantly nervous or everything. It's like it would be a bit easier. We're gonna be able to do this lap and then 2 flyers. Based on how much time we have. I think I'm gonna lift on the Qualy up the hill because it's probably easier. I don't know why I just lost 2/10 for the final corner there. Final chicane there. It's not a good omen. It's likely gonna happen again on the flyer. He continues to be squirrely as all hell. Down because it just didn't put down the power either. It was just too sideways. I could put down the power, but obviously the TC decided not to do it. Bad run for this corner. 2/10 down. It's getting worse. Oh, and then understeer up the hill. He didn't turn. How the fuck am I not faster when I'm actually exiting the corner pointing the right way? I think I've removed the brake bias forward just for that final chicane. Because the car decides to just have be so stupidly pointy through there. I think it's just too much pointiness there.
Yellow flag ahead, be careful.
Thank you very much.
Yellow flag accepted.
Ah, but still lost time now on the exit because the car didn't want to go. will lift up the hill this time around. Yeah, because it was faster. Oh, and then overshoot this corner, no! Nearly driven the grass there. Not much of a gain. Need a bit more than this. Oh, lost time. No, lost all my time there.
Slow car ahead. Session is now over.
Oh, fuck you! Oh, come on, I'm so close to beating that guy. Ah, this is such a fucking disappointment, this qualifying session.
Has been validated.
Fucking dog shit car that doesn't handle like sounds like absolute fucking trash. Fucking dog shit. This thing handled like such dog shit. Didn't want to perform whatsoever. I'm so pissed at this fucking garbage can of a car. I haven't seen something this garbage in a long time. It's all over the place. It doesn't want to fucking go where it's supposed to go. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It doesn't handle at all well. I was just fucking stuck for the entire session with this fucking trash can. God, I hate it. It either has way too much fucking oversea or way too much undersea. It just doesn't fucking do what it's supposed to do. I'm just working. So I need to try these settings here at some point. I need to try more settings on this thing. Need to see if I can get this thing to finally work as a car. Because currently it's just not wanting to function correctly. It does whatever it wants to do in this one. We need a bit of fuel for the race. So we need some brake pads. So, hello. Fuck you, fucking stupid triple touch thing where you can pull up your, like, stupid overlay on Windows that requires me to pull up my desktop so I can fucking close the thing again. Whoever invented that thing needs to be shot because nobody intentionally opens that ever. It's only unintentionally opened. Only fucking ever. Anyway. So done with this bullshit at this point. Garbage qual. I mean, the time isn't terrible. It's 55.7, but for sure there was more time in there. If the car actually fucking worked. It's like, even if the car just allowed me to put a lap together without dying constantly, it would have still been at least 2 tenths faster than that. It would have been like P7 perhaps, I think. That should have been there. P7, not P10 here. Further up, I think not many positions really directly, but there's a further qualifying session that's just gonna lump us way down the order because today weren't that many qualifiers. Tomorrow will be way more. So being P10, we're probably gonna start like midfield in the end, especially being like 2 seconds off the pace, which that's just silly, frankly. It shouldn't be that. Ah, I fucking hate this. What are actually gonna be the conditions for the race? Let me nip them already. So I'm gonna do some practice afterwards now. So, event configuration. Out here is set to Ambient temperature of 26, weather randomness 4, cloud level of 0.3, and rain at 0.05. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do all of them without the rain. God fucking damn it.
Green light. Go, go, go.
So finally the sessions is over. So we can probably just I mean, I could have used this server a bit more for practice, but I guess I'm gonna go offline and go do it there, because I can then just drive unlimited laps. So we need to select the correct track first. Nürburgring. Confirm. Cars in there. Actually, I think this is now. No, that's. It must be actually my fastest lap now. Over 55.6. I think I just set my personal fastest lap on the track. So 55.6 I think is my fastest time personally. Circuit. So this is the set that we're gonna do work on. Oh wait, I didn't set up conditions. Right, I forgot that part. You need to set up conditions. Conditions. We like the race. Okay. Weather. Ambient temperature I think was 23 if I'm not mistaken. 26, Jesus. Weather randomness of 4 and cloud level of 0.3. Okay. I don't know what variability of 4 would mean, but okay, we're just gonna put the cloud cover and the average ambient temperature in there. So that should be fine. And we're obviously starting with an optimum track because I do. I like to have an optimum track. So we're now up to 37 degrees Celsius, and that means something a bit more different. That's a bit something different. Definitely need to open the brake ducts up more, because otherwise we're not gonna survive. Those tires would not survive without opening the brake ducts a bit more than that. Maybe even fully, because we're nearly at 40 degrees Celsius. Yeah, let's just do that, because I think we were already like close to critical. Shave some 0.5 of the tire pressures, because I think we were already. If you open up that much, it should not. It should equalize tires, and I think everything else is there now. I have changed the rear ALB bone click now down. Something that I didn't touch in practice. But I think that might also be one of the problems. Because I didn't want to hurt the handling, turning ability of the car, but it's just... Well, we kind of circled around long enough that it kind of was like a stupid decision to change. Yeah, it still does it. It still wants to just push the rear axle around once I start accelerating out of corners. Hold on. Let me check something. Maybe... No, there's toe out on the car. Toe in on the car. There's no toe out on the rear. It's a bit of toe in. Not much, but like it's... No toe out on the rear. Don't want to try toe out. I mean, we're dealing already with issues, but like, let's just fuck this shit. Like, I'm getting screwed over here, so let's just make it worse. think it's gotten worse. Which was as surprising as anything, but that means I probably need to put more turret in on the rear. I think, surprise, surprise, it might be the turret in that was screwing me over. And I just was not paying attention to it. It's just very unfortunate. Whoa! How well this thing runs up the hill now on the full fuel load. That's insane. Like no understeer whatsoever. The thing just handled so beautifully up the hill there. Either I've just rolled it after rolling just once. I just sort of rolled suddenly a 20. Nah, the car has still issues here on my setup, but I don't know what the fuck's going on. Whoa! Oh, validators. Oh yeah, I forgot we're actually running Type 2 pads now, so the brakes will be cooling out quicker actually. Probably don't need this large of brake ducts. Oh, and I didn't set the time of day correctly. But I think 1500 when I set it to is probably roughly when the race starts. I think, although I think it starts later and starts running into the night. But even at a later time of day it would... Yeah, I think we'll probably need to then close the brake ducts down to prepare for the night running. I find it so silly to brake this late for this corner. It's just mental to me. Four-wheel sliding over the tires there. Just not finding any... Ah, and then more oversteer there. Hello, would you kindly just settle down and stop dying like a fucking bitch constantly? A 57, that's not that great, even on high fuel. Fuck me with how late I can brake for that corner. Although we had some moments of just the car not turning at all. Again, didn't stop. Hello, dude, you can't actually negotiate these corners. Thank you, I would kindly appreciate that. Although we're running at very hot conditions, so it's fine, I guess. There's way too much turning. The rear end just doesn't stick in the turn-in phase anymore. So we're back to square one in terms of the issues with the car. Can reduce the rear beam. Doesn't really fix it. Although we don't have really the car kicking like a fucking muse once I threaten as much as step on the throttle. You just have not turn and oversteer right now to contend with. But I guess this is on the grand scheme of things. Although it still does it. I mean, it was fighting me out of this corner again. But you expect this car to fight a bit out of corners, it's suddenly going junk. I mean, turning can actually be cured by just reducing the front suspension range a bit. That's a good way to reducing our problem. Bled all the time again for chicane. This is because it, of course, that's right. I lose all of my time again. It doesn't even have to happen in a practice session. It can happen in a qualifying session. It can happen in literally the practice after. Hello, brakes. But you can't actually act normal, please. And yeah, it still does it. But it decides that massive sideways is what you wanted, right? No, I don't want that. Just plant the rear axle out of the corners. I would highly appreciate that. Why the fuck did I just lose a 10th? You can drive a super smooth, fast exit and it's just like, yeah, you were slow. I was like, what? Yes, you were slow. No reason, just you're not slow. Screw you. When you think you have a good drive through a corner, it's probably going slow. I had to lift heavily out of there because the car decided to point anywhere but not where it's supposed to go. And again, lost everything in final chicane. Because fuck me. That's why. Just look at this. This is so bullshit, and I still have no answer why it is doing it. And why it is suddenly going from like nothing. It's fucking pulling teeth. It's just... Oh, graining on all tires. For fuck's sake, that's great. I grained all fucking 4 tires. In this short run. What the fuck's going on here? Just pain and misery. Graining on the tires. And that's part of an explanation. Something is going horribly wrong. That's an understatement. 1400 actually. So the time that I've actually set up is pretty accurate. Not to lie. Because I'm driving around 1500. So about an hour into the race. That would be... Right. So clicking the brake, that's one click. That should help tires a bit. It should help the brakes a bit. Although we do need to slightly reduce the tire pressures in response, because tires are gonna get a bit hotter. Right. Gonna reduce this. Gonna increase this. Reduce this. I think that's also probably a stupid setting. Brake pads is probably fine roughly at that value. I mean, how's my wear distribution on these tires? Not bad. Not bad at all. How much? Gonna take some touring out of the front. And yes, we have tow out on the rear on the car. Because fuck me. I'm deciding to do stupid shit and attempt to get this thing to behave. Finally. Not sure I'm gonna succeed. Thing is, it works for like a few laps. I guess the problem is that I get graining on my tires. And then the tires just die and they're just dead. But it's super odd to be dealing with graining at these temperatures here. It's a very weird situation. Whoa, what the fuck was that? I've not seen that before. What the fuck did you do? No, no, no. Point the right direction and fucking drive. For God's sakes. You shitbox. You have one direction to point in and drive and not just go spinella constantly. When you're bored. Okay, it's getting worse, the handling. What is this? I can just not add this thing together. What is happening? Why is the suspension doing whatever it wants to? Yeah, I have to. This is not working. This is doing what the fuck ever it wants to. I'm fucking pissed and tired of this bullshit. It is doing what it wants to. I have tried every single change under the sun at this point. Thrown everything at it and nothing has turned something good back. Everything has turned a variable result of fucking garbage back. To me. It's still doing the oversteer. It's not turning the fuck in. What the fuck are you doing? Okay, I'm fucking done with your bullshit. Okay, we're going to aggressive preset. Yes. I'm this pissed with you because you can't. One thing we're gonna do actually is, let me briefly load the set again. Oh wait, I didn't adapt the, I just didn't save the fucking. Right, we were, fuck it, because I forgot that I was. I guess those values are correct, in all honesty. I think I was running these brake ducts. We're not gonna change the river, we're not trying to change any of these things. I'll put the fuel back into the car. We're gonna put, we can keep this set on, we can put this back, the brake bar is like 63. It's gonna work. We're just gonna keep these settings here. Right, okay. Jump off the jacks, press continue. You've driven me insane enough that I'm loading the aggressive preset and just seeing if this thing does the same thing of like having the broken behavior on the rear differential. Where it just drives the car around. Yeah, it does it to some extent, but it's softer. When we're using more TC, so should be. We're not using that much more TC. We're using 4 instead of 3. Actually, we're using 3. We're using the same TC setting. Ironically, decrease the ABS as well. Back down. Because I usually run low ABS. Get better braking consistency. High ABS settings usually lead to the car deciding to go, well, fuck this. I might slightly lock up, so I'm not gonna apply the brakes at all, and you just fly off the scenery because the car didn't brake. Seems to be god awfully slow, but hey, it's... Okay, there's a lot of bounce from hitting those curbs there. Also probably in part because there's no suspension travel on the front. Because this is an official set, so you do not get any suspension travel on the front. But all of the suspension travel on the rear, which is just... it's a bit silly, but I guess it works. I guess this thing is pushing over the front axle before it four-wheel slides into a corner. It's not as productive for lap times, but when you're not focusing on lap times and instead just focusing on getting through a stint, yeah, it's pretty solid. Although I do have to improve the set, so it's not like I can just use it like is. I'd say there's way too much understeer for one. Although its uphill performance here is pretty solid. Considering I usually immediately touch up the error a bit on a set. It's working pretty fine, considering I haven't done it. Tire pressures on the other end, they're not that great. It ate all my time again. Oh, I hate you. The thing is, it does use the same amount of, what is it called? Preload on the differential, but it handles completely different. It doesn't have the same issue with the rear end just being driven around by the rear axle, by the throttle into snap oversteer. Isn't this just like pre-programmed angle that you suddenly snap to? Do have to lift up the hill. I guess that is definitely for an enduro trait that anyone within a heartbeat would make. Definitely I'm able to be way more consistent. Although that corner again decided to go, well no, you're not getting time, fuck you. I hate things like that always. Oh well, finally I got final corner to work. drive a few laps on these tires, see how they hold up, see if we run into issues there. Okay, it does have the driving around issue of that corner still. I think that's more normal, especially when you do a curb hit. Right. God, those curbs just completely murder you. Definitely need to do something about that. Because the car is capable of not dying from hitting those curbs. Interesting enough, my right side tires seem to be fine on pressure, the left side tires are just way too low. Oh wait, they're just slightly off, you could say. One inside curb is just such a pain in the ass to deal with. Let's pick up fresh tires. Oh yeah, right, we don't need to stop. We just escape like this. Right, okay. Well, temperatures are actually starting to go down. It's a bit funny. Yep, we need put this much more on the front. I think this one -1, and it should be the tire pressures. No graining, but we ran these slightly shorter than the other ones. So that's that. I definitely think we need to give the front suspension a bit of leeway, so the car can actually do things. I don't need to really lower the rear because change the rear bump stop range because the car's working for the most part. Guess it needs a bit more turning. Like all of these things I think are there really. Just to be waiting to be taken really. Yeah, so I guess. Let's save the set. Oh god. I'm just noticing this thing is getting pointy as hell. Yeah, increase the front bump stop range from 5 up to 12 now. That was only my real change. And the tire pressures. I think that's the major change. I didn't want to admit to that, but I feel like that might be the problem. Car's acting very pointy because of that. But I kind of want to have that so I can actually take curbs and don't immediately die from them. Feels like the car sits way lower suddenly. The thing is, it should only change things when the front end is loaded. So not really when you're like accelerating back out of the corner. Because at the exit there, the front end is already kind of unloaded. It's not loaded really. Well, it should be in neutral position when I start feeding throttle back in. It obviously explains why the car is like pointy and stuff, but it doesn't explain why. Oh yeah, it starts taking that curb up quite a bit easier. But I think I finally found it. The issue, and that's way too much bump stop range on the front. Because I was running 18 bump stop range on the front and I'm now down up to 12 and I'm starting to feel there's a problem with it. Like I went from 5 to 12 and I'm like, there might be an issue here. Hey, how's it? Well, I was preparing for, qualified for this race. It didn't go particularly well because the setup was shit. And I'm trying to fix the setup now after qualifying for the race. And it's just... It's so much pain and I've went back to aggressive preset. Like it's that bad. It was really bad. It's maybe starting to figure out, but I've seen that... I thought I've seen the end of the light of this tunnel like 15 times before. I'm not gonna get distracted by another, like, I don't know. Firefly? Yeah, Firefly is the English word for it. Thinking that's the end of the light at the end of the tunnel. Don't ask why there's fireflies in my tunnel. Yeah, this car has had sometimes really weird handling issues. messed that up. Not quite the ideal line. I wasn't quite paying attention, but I think the car got bounced very heavily by the inside curb still. But we did improve a bit, I guess. Hooray. We're starting to close in on my qualifying time, which was set in way colder conditions, with way less fuel in the car. I think probably taking a bit of ARB out of the front might help at this point. Although... maybe bones. But definitely we need to cure a bit of understeer out of this thing, I think at this point. Mid-corner it's... I think a bit struggling. Corner entry, I think I'm right at the edge of what I can get away with. My qual time was a 55.6, I think, in the end. I was 1.7 seconds off provisional pole, and qualified 10th out of like I think 26 or something. Although this was the first qualifying session, there's gonna be another one tomorrow, where the other half of the field will qualify. So, I'm probably not gonna start 10th. More like make P20 out of that. So that's not that great. Just couldn't in the end put the laps together. The car was going everywhere, but not forward. Slight overshoot here. How close I can actually get to flat out if I nail the line. It's pretty interesting. You're driving in the GTR. Let's see how you guys are gonna do. I don't know if you qualified already. And yeah, one of the issues that I had with the set is that the car drove itself effectively around when I applied like 50% throttle. Especially in corners like this, it would just go suddenly to like a massive snap in the middle of the throttle application. Irrelevant of how carefully you fed it, it was like dealing with a race clutch. Trying to pull a car away in terms of how suddenly it would stall out on you if you weren't like 2000% accurate. And sometimes it will just screw you over anyway. Okay. Yeah, and good luck with it. Also, considering what I'm currently running, I've set the offline practice up to the same conditions that we will have in the race. Yeah, I tried basically anything and it did nothing. The differential was the thing is, this is with the same differential setting as the setup that I was using, and this doesn't do it. Like, this is the aggressive preset effectively, and it doesn't do that thing. The other setup that I was using did it constantly. Massively. I mean, I can load it up in a sec. I think I'm starting to have done enough laps on this task to get a reading if I'm graining them out or anything. Because this is doing it not really anymore. But the differential's dark science. Like, you think you understand it, but you don't. I'm just gonna guarantee you that. Because nobody does. It's random numbers. But yeah, I tried. It comes with 70. I tried both the aggressive preset and the set that I used. Came with 70. I tried 210. I've tried 40. Neither of them made any difference. I think the 210 actually was kind of more stable, ironically enough. The differential doesn't do much. Even though because I was feeling that it was a differential issue as well, but it's just, it did not want to go away that way. It didn't want to go away any other way either. So I just was stuck. So let's just try how much death I experience if I hit the inside curb. Well, I die from other reasons. And that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow, the line, not today. Okay, yeah, I've saved this set. I can load the other one briefly for demonstration purposes. Not like this. They're all the same, effectively. Slight differences. Kind of that. Not really the second snap. Yep. It's kind of the thing. It wants to suddenly drive itself around. It's the issue in this set. Okay, that was me being stupid and walking onto the throttle too much. Oh, that was silly for me. It is noticeable that this setup doesn't forgive at all. It will just die if you make one wrong step. Also, there's a lot of four-wheel sliding into corners. Pretty sure I grained out my tires. Jesus Christ, there's there as well. And no, this set does not have a rear turnout. I tried it with rear turnout, it doesn't make much of a difference. It feels kind of more stable actually. Ironically enough. It doesn't have much toe-in on the rear. And when I decreased the toe-in on the front to fight some entry oversteer, it ended up with the same problem. Both sets, by the way, use I think the same amount of traction control. So that's also funny. And increasing the traction control doesn't help, it will just snap harder. Because at some point you just overcome the problem. TC can only do so much. I mean, I can drive it around the circuit. Sometimes you can get away with it not snapping, and then other times it snaps. And the thing is, I used this set on the in the pro season. I used it there. It just I thought it worked better during that during the cold conditions. It didn't die as much, which is a bit funny. It could work better in the cold conditions. Although it did have that issue. It did try to drive itself around constantly. But yeah, right now. Yeah, it fucked with me hard in qualifying when it at some corners decided to try snap oversteer. Mess with me. Yeah, I have absolute. I mean, the thing is, you get with the boat and the GTR at times this issue of like having oversteer out of corners. That is like normal. It's sort of like normal with those cars, but yeah, it did grain my front tires on the last actual run. Not on that in between run. We don't count that one. But yeah, it's what was it again? It's like, yeah, you get but yeah, you get this oversteer with both cars. A bit of oversteer out of the corners. It's just the problem is that you suddenly get 45 degrees sideways, and it's just nothing really to stop it. You can't just use the throttle to like power slide the car out of the corner. It will just go either nothing or you suddenly completely sideways. Completely crossed up. And it's just, yeah, that's not particularly fun to drive. And it was constantly like messing up my qualifying laps because it would happen in inopportune moments and just ruin the exits completely. And that's obviously not ideal in that situation. Right. But yeah, I wanted to do some further changes on this set to get it perhaps to do some... give it a bit more rotation. I think I might touch the aerodynamics. Not quite sure. because this set has quite a lot more rear wing on there. I do think I'm at the limit of what I should do with the front bump stop range. I think I'm far enough there. Any more there is gonna cause actually harm again. Been there, don't need again. Rear, on the other hand, not really a need to lower the bump stop range on the rear. Although maybe, nah. I don't think it's a particularly great idea. I do want to lower the front ARB. I don't want to stiffen the rear. Both very valid options of just getting a bit more mid-corner stuff. I think one click of the rear ring is a decent idea. This setup does ride higher on the rear ends than the other one. So there's actually more angle there, I guess. More rake. Yeah, okay, we're gonna put one click ARB in the rear. I think that's an idea. First an attempt. Can force it, but no idea. Oh god. You're trying to force it up the hill to the flat out. Yep. Sometimes it will just not work. You will drive the rear axle around. This time around by just hitting the curbing. Which makes at least a bit of sense. And now the brake's working again. Oof. I just can't quite get this line up the hill consistently. When you hit it precisely, it's one of the greatest things ever, but like, hitting the line is like, so goddamn difficult. The issue is I'm going slower. Handling wise, this feels pretty nice. And the brakes didn't work this time around again. God, I hate that. That corner is a pain in the ass at times. It's a really nice corner, left-hander there, but like it's also just... You sometimes just do not get brakes if you touch the carpet on the entry on the right-hand side. Brakes do not function if you try to brake on that thing. Which means staying off it is actually a viable strat just to getting the corner correct. You can brake later. It can produce the oversteer still. I have no clue what the fuck I smoked when I ran my fastest lap through there. I don't know. There's some more pace in this to be found, optimizing the setup, but at this point it's just roll a fucking dice to improve the setup, because you can do so many things and everything's gonna make it worse. I guarantee at this point. Any minor changes that I can do on the setup are gonna ruin it. I can improve a set, I can't make it from scratch, and I need to somehow make one this time around. Because apparently nobody can make a set that doesn't have this massive oversteer issue. I can work with oversteer if it is predictable. If I can control it. Not when it suddenly onsets and becomes a massive sideways moment that nobody can stop. Also the car oversteers into this corner, which pretty sure this time around we're gonna see graining on the tires. I think that's probably what we're already experiencing, some light graining. Because the car is starting to have its mad habits back again. This is just pain at this point. Fix one problem and there's like 30 new ones. Pain. Just absolutely unutterable pain. Nah, no graining? What? There's light graining on the previous set of tires. This one didn't have any grainings. Like, you're just this bullshitting me. I'm not gonna trust you. You're just telling me fucking lies at this point. There guaranteed was some graining on those tires. They were just dead. That car was not acting right whatsoever. Okay. What is left on the list of things that I can fucking try at this point to throw at this car? To get any appreciable improvement on it. Guess I'm gonna leave all of these and then just, I guess, run it like this. Maybe that works. That should not have worked. On the other hand, that should have worked. Oh, I hit the grass there. Whatever. But we're nearly very close to our lap time, actually. Immediately. Which in the other case we weren't at all. Damn, my engine braking was interrupted because a gear shift didn't go through. Four-wheel slide. I feel like this is probably going to also go worse and worse and worse as this thing continues on. Like Jada said. I broke way too early there. Look at the 100 mark there. I was trading tenths with our previous setups. It's not bad, but I should see improvements. Not like, oh hey, I'm equaling myself. Great, awesome. Like that's the minimum bar. I don't want to like just equal myself. I need to improve. But I'm not finding a like singular tenth of a second anywhere. And it kicked like a mule again. Ah, come on. Oh, it just didn't quite stick on the road. This is not working either. Like nothing is. Why is there so much pain? I would at this point like to prefer to driving a Porsche. Are you saying something? This just doesn't want to work. I'm so fed up with this because it's just doing whatever it fucking thinks it wants to do. Going everywhere, it's not planting any time. It's not fun to drive that set at all. It's a fucking pain in the ass. We can only put 106 liters in the tank anyway. Let's just put 106, I guess, in the tank. Set up this for like a... Setting up some race strategy here. Honestly, I can actually override AO1. Yeah, then there's nothing really major that I change here. Right, I'm done. I can't drive anymore. This is just fucking... I'm getting fed up with this. This is bullshit at this point. I'm just getting fucking mugged at this point. Right, let's exit the game. No, don't play any videos, Lucas. Yeah, it's still on stream technically. Alright, let's end this stream. Nobody's watching anyway. I have been driven completely and utterly mad at this point. Frankly. Alright. No. Right. Okay then. I just need to summon some fucking exorcist to get this cast fixed at this point. There's nothing I can do anymore. I've tried it, it doesn't work. We just have to settle for exorcism. Oh well then. I would say by then.